Hello, everybody. Welcome to Truth and Transformation Tarot. We're going to get into a reading. I hope you guys are having a good Monday or whenever you guys come across this video. Energy is timeless and fluid. Please remember to take only what resonates. Plug yourself in. If I say divine feminine or divine masculine, you can switch and flip and flop for however it fits your story. So 2 cards just now fell out before I even had the chance. I have the deck in my hand. It's called Future Higher Self, Portal to Your Higher Self. This is what it looks like. And before I even had the chance to start to shuffle, 2 cards just fell out as I just barely was kind of sitting messing with them as I was doing that introduction. And we have Divine Counterpart and we have Denial. So it says a divine connection sent to you from your angels, and then the denial card says failure to accept a situation, unhealthy cycles, or addictions. There's the divine counterpart and denial. Okay. So you guys may have a divine counterpart that you know who is in denial right now. Let me just tap into this. Holy Spirit, wrap me in white, impenetrable light. Let the truth and only the truth come through for whoever needs to come across this video. Ashe, namaste. I'm seeing a bird feather. That may be important to somebody. Let me get one more card with these 2 cards. Boundaries. Know when to put up and let down your walls. So we may have a situation here where you have had to put up a boundary. This may have been difficult for you because you may be aware that this connection is deeper. You may be connecting on the 5D with this soul or energy, and you're not seeing what you want to see on the 3D, and you're trying to be loving to yourself. You're trying to have that self-love. And so you know what you will and won't put up with. But it may be difficult because there may be a part here where you're not getting what you necessarily need in the 3D and you're being disrespected in the 3D, but you're aware of this 5D connection. You're aware on a level that this is a soul connection. So maybe you're willing to give them a little bit more grace than you would, a regular person. And so this has been difficult for you. This has caused a lot of turmoil lately in the past few weeks or months or even years. There may be an aspect of the person that you are with, your divine counterpart, being in denial or not fully admitting what they know their heart is saying, that they know that this is they know that their heart feels very connected to yours. You know that, when you all met, it completely transformed this person. There's a very real heart coherence where you began to open up this person's heart. And they may be struggling to put words to that or to show you that. They may not be comfortable with emotions. Or vulnerability. And so with the boundary card, they may have very strong boundaries up as well, trying to protect themselves because love makes them feel unstabilized. Emotions make them feel like they're not safe. They may have an abandonment wound they're dealing with. And where this connection does go so deep, with it being a soul connection, it plays on all of those wounds in an even deeper way, which is even more traumatizing, sort of, to them energetically and beyond. So this level of perceptional or denial in their mind maybe helps them kind of create safety. But it can be, so that would probably be the divine masculine that's doing that. But for the divine feminine, which is probably the one that's tuning into this video, and again, you guys can flip and flop, but the divine feminine who has a super in tune awareness with the spiritual world, the etheric and the astral world, her having this sort of understanding and feeling his energy and his soul, it's got to be really difficult for you. But there is this boundary here. So either he has put up a boundary against you and is not wanting to admit it, and then you have then in turn put up a boundary back. But it does feel like it's like there's no walls at all on the 5D, like your souls are very connected, but here in this 3D plane right now, there are these boundaries. So you guys may be in no contact right now, or it may sort of feel still, like nothing's really happening. Like you guys are on opposite sides of a wall a little bit. Okay. What else? Okay, I have release. Release grudges, wounds, and pent-up feelings through healthy activities. Sacrifice, giving up something now for a future reward. So there may be an energy here where you are needing to even release this person a little bit. Or at least there is a lot of pent-up feelings when it comes to this connection. And you are needing to focus on yourself, maybe get into some 3D actions, running, cardio, something that will get this energy moving so you're able to sort of release it a little bit, because I can see that it's causing a lot of low vibrational energies within your multidimensional soul framework. And it may be causing you to sacrifice some of the more positive things that you have been calling in and manifesting. Some of the things that you have been working on for a while may be coming into contention because of this sort of pent up energy that you are struggling to release. And this energy is lower vibrational, having to do with this connection, the boundaries, the it's like sort of a letdown energy, like it's just it didn't go exactly how you wanted it to go, or it's not going on the timeline that you wanted it to happen on. It's not happening as quickly. Maybe there's some patience that needs to be happen here. So it's almost like this whole giving up something now for a future reward. If you would sort of let this go for now and sort of let these energies move a little bit and not focus on it some, it would have an easier time coming through in the future. So like I'm hearing focus on yourself a little bit, as frustrating as that probably sounds. Just focus on you, do you, and try not to put a whole lot of focus on this connection. But I'm also hearing that the minute that you would do something like that, this divine masculine may come in because he would be able to feel you sort of pulling away energetically. So then he may come in and make it even more difficult on you if you were to do this. So that's interesting. I'm also hearing that it's like he switches up. Like, it's like one day he's one person, one day he's another. So it's like one day he may be more emotional or more loving. The next day he may be a lot colder. The next day he's almost acting like he's just a friend, like very copacetic. Like, it's like, see how this card has the three different faces here? So it's like he's switching up often, which can be very frustrating. So I just got the card that came out a second ago. It says, ask your angels, seek the divine. Your angels want to support you. So if you're struggling with this, you may ask your angels for a sign. You may already be getting a lot of synchronicities and signs, angel numbers, uh, just different signs and things that remind you of this person or that are sort of telling you in which way you need to move or what you need to do. But it is saying that if you need a specific sign or if you need something to ask for that, because you do have many angels and spirits and guides and ascended masters that are around you that are happy to help with this. They understand that this has been a difficult scenario. They understand that this has been uh, just very exhausting. And so they are here for you and they want you to ask for whatever support that you need. So there was a card that was turned over in the deck from the last time I used this deck, and it's balance, juggling too many things at once, find time for yourself. So there is an energy here of calling in balance, of making sure that you're resting and taking care of yourself, um, that you're finding time for yourself. That you're making sure to love yourself. Yeah, and in tapping into that card, I definitely get a wave of exhaustion. I can feel a lot of emotions. I can feel almost a little bit isolated, like there's nobody to really turn to, nobody that understands. Like you've dealt with this a lot on your own, just very worn down, very tired. Yeah, it's emotional. It's it's heavy. This has been really difficult for you. I'm hearing that you're not somebody that often gets hung up with these kind of things. Like you're pretty good at kind of keeping it moving, focusing on what you need to focus on, doing what you need to do, but this has been difficult. This has called out some deeper wound, or at least I don't know how long you've been dealing with this divine counterpart, but at least recently there's been some kind of deeper wound that's been triggered and been brought up for healing. You're going through many chakra upgrades right now. And another part that I'm hearing is that you're taking on a lot of the wounds from this masculine's energy. So a lot of the things that you had healed and kind of put to bed, you are now taking on a lot of his traumas and energies in a deep way. A part of that is because you have been slower to put up those boundaries and you're connecting yourself to him. Your angels are trying to protect you from that. They want you to boundary off and let him have to deal with that. But where you've been slower to do that and you've been focusing maybe on his energy or thinking of him often, you're pulling his energy in. And where you guys do share like that chakra system, or you guys are very energetically tied, it's bringing in a lot of his wounds and things that he's meant to heal, which is making your vibration a little bit lower and making you have to deal with some of these more wounds and pent up feelings and energies that are not as high vibrational or easy to deal with, even though you've already dealt with them on your side. So it's not really your job to transmute these energies for him. There may be a part of your higher self that's doing this purposely to speed up the timeline so you can have that union with him quicker. That may be part of it. But there's also a part here where it's like he has to deal with some of these on his own because that's how he's going to grow and embody some of this. So then he can be ready for this union. So like you can do some of that for him, but I feel like right now maybe you're doing too much of it for him. Because it's very emotional. It's very heavy feeling, and it's like that's that sacrifice card again, giving up something. It's like you're sacrificing a lot for this energy, and I get why you would. It's very loving, it's very connected and caring, so it's understandable on a level. But it's also like maybe you're going above and beyond. You're maybe sacrificing too much. Like make sure that you find the balance within that where you're looking out for yourself too. There's a lot of love here. This is a very, very deep soul connection. Very ancient. I don't know if you want to call it divine counterpart, twin flame, soulmate, whatever, mirrored souls, whatever, terminology you want to use. It's just a very special connection. You guys definitely have had past lives together. Acceptance. Accept past and current situations. Work through issues gracefully. So there may be an energy here where you need to practice some acceptance, maybe of the timeline, maybe of being more patient, maybe of your divine masculine not being fully ready or, moving a little bit slower than you would like. I'll be really honest. I'm reading these cards. I almost feel robotic reading these cards right now because this energy that I'm feeling right now, it is extremely heavy. It's sad. It's tired. I wonder if you're giving yourself the space to really feel that. I know we were just talking about pent up feelings, and I don't know. There's something here. It's very deep. It's very heavy. It's very emotional. It feels very isolated and alone. Anything on that, Holy Spirit? So we got strength, determination, perseverance, and self-discovery. And we also got soulmate. The divine will provide you with love when you are ready. So for me, that says that it doesn't necessarily want you to stop and try to feel those feelings, which is odd because typically you should feel those things to move them out of you. But this feels so deep and so painful and so almost tragic that it's better to almost keep it moving, stay determined, persevere, keep it moving. Because if not, it's would almost do more harm than good to try and tap into that deep pain right now. Allow that to be healed when the soulmate comes in and everything's ready. Is that right, Holy Spirit? Success. Success from what you pour your heart into. Patience. Manifestations are on the way. Peace. Peace and contentment are coming to you. This is the bottom of the deck. Energy activation. Connect to the divine through meditation or prayer. Self-awareness. Tapping into your higher self. Questioning routines and patterns. Abundance. An inflow of money, love, or rewards is on its way. Creativity. Have fun. Express yourself in new ways. Don't be afraid to be creative. Awakening. A realization, shift, or discovery. Leap of faith. Taking a risk, stepping into the beauty of the unknown. Self-limiting beliefs. Negative thoughts are creating a roadblock in your life. Interesting. So I'm hearing that, to just stay strong, stay determined. Success is on the way. Have patience. Peace and contentment is coming to you. You're going through many energy activations right now. You're very in line with your higher self right now. Abundance and a higher vibrating and better way of living. I heard thrive. So you won't be surviving, you'll be thriving. That is very much on the way for you. But maybe you've heard that for a long time. Something about that feels hard to let in. I'm getting out the regular tarot now. The Wild Unknown Tarot, this is what it looks like by Kim Krantz. Why is that message hard to take in, Holy Spirit? That things are going to be getting better soon. Strength. It's like you've already been strong for so long. You've already been persevering. You've already been determined. You feel like you've been doing it for a very long time. You're very connected to the higher realm, to the angels. You're very protected. Very much connected to spirit. They're looking out for you. I just can't get past this. It's like I'm trying to read these cards, but there is this feeling of heartbreak, like your heart's broken. What is that? Holy Spirit, tell me about this heartbreak. So the same card came out that was on the bottom of the deck, which is the Seven of Wands. That's the one I was reading when I was saying that you're very connected to Spirit, you're very protected, you're very loved. This divine counterpart, I got the Three of Pentacles. There may be a third party here, possibly, if that's your story. That could be part of the heartache. The Daughter of Swords, Page of Swords. So there's some kind of spying going on here. Either your divine counterpart is spying on you, or you may be spying on him. Three of Wands. Waiting on your ships to come in, waiting on your blessings. Ten of Wands. Feeling very burdened currently, feeling very possibly doing too much people pleasing, not looking out for yourself. Feeling very like you're carrying a heavy load. Five of Swords. The Devil. You feel like maybe your divine counterpart has been very cold with you. There's this like win at all costs energy. Or he's only looking out for himself. He's not considering you. He's struggling with something very traumatic or deep. Possibly even like an addiction or something that's very difficult for him to overcome, or so he has sort of caused this heartbreak in you. It might not even be like necessarily in this 3D world, like in this reality that we all know and see. There may not be any like major breakup or major thing that's happened. I mean, place yourself where you belong, because that could be it. Or it could be that and what I'm getting ready to say. But this honestly almost feels like a soul pain. Like either there was something that happened in the 3D, but you're also feeling it very deeply in your soul, or nothing major happened in the 3D. Like maybe you guys never even fully got together, or, you know, but something in the soul feels very effectual, like you're not being looked out for in the soul a little bit. Or like he's choosing himself. Or you may even be, it may be like he chose himself, and you would think the heartbreak would be like, he chose himself, he didn't choose me, that broke my heart. But there may be an aspect here where it's like he chose himself, and that signifies to your higher self just how deep the pain is, because you know how, this sounds strange, so just, you know, we're getting very quantum, but it's like you know that he wouldn't normally do that, not to this level, so you know how much he's hurting. You know how bad it really is, or he wouldn't be moving the way he's moving, and that's breaking your heart. Like you know how deep his devil goes, and you don't know how to save him from it, besides letting him go through the fire. And that breaks your heart. You don't want to see him suffer. The Emperor. Because you know who he can be. You know what he is and who he is at his best when he's at his most healed. And you know the deepest part of that energy is one that stands up and protects, your energy and creates stability for you and safety. And it's like at every turn, he's not creating stability for you. He's not creating safety for you. You feel very much on your own, which it's like you've dealt with that your whole life. You're used to feeling on your own. So it's like it's understandable. But when you meet your divine counterpart, the one energy that should stand up for you and has stood up for you many, 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 many times throughout many lifetimes, it's like all of a sudden that hits you and affects you because it's like you're not let down by anybody else, but you're let down by him. Or you're let down by the fact of when he does that, you see how broken or how much pain or that he's like actually in, because you know he wouldn't be moving that way if he wasn't. And that breaks your heart. And it's like there's this unspoken truth between you two. Like you both know the truth. You know what the truth is. There's this feeling of him feeling just so disappointed with himself. And like there's nothing you can do to help it. I'm sorry. I know this is a very depressing reading. I'm really sorry, but this is what's coming through. It seems and feels very depressing, but it almost feels like it needs to be spoken aloud, like it's very heavy and it just needs to be called out for what it is. This is a very deep relationship or connection. I can literally feel it like in my heart. I almost want to rub my chest. Like my heart, there's this ache. It's like in the left chamber of my heart. So it's your divine feminine energy is aching. I think it's for a lot of reasons. I don't think it's a simple thing, but I can feel that part of this ache is for him because his heart is aching. His heart is aching without you, and yet he feels like he can't have you. He can't have you because he has too many devils or brings too much low vibration to the picture, or he's on fire right now and he doesn't want you to be on fire. It's a form of protection. It's very heartbreaking. It almost feels like two counterparts that met too early. And it's like counterparts shouldn't come together unless they're able to sort of at least come together a little bit and then maybe separate once some things have happened. But it's like these two counterparts came together and it was just not the right time. And it just left them both feeling very heartbroken by the truth of what they felt, but not able to like experience the light and the joy of it. And they both also saw each other in a place that they didn't want to see each other in. It's like you seeing him at his worst and him seeing you at your most, like doing okay, but being so strong, being so sharp, like not as vulnerable. And that breaks his heart because it's like, oh my God, what have you been through? Why are you being so sharp? Like, oh my God, like nobody's being there, nobody's protecting you. It was like just extremely triggering. You both come together and he's like, oh my God, nobody's protecting you, like this is breaking my heart. And you're like, oh my God, like you're not acting like who yourself at all, which means that you're far away from being yourself, which means that you're in a lot of pain. And I love you, please let me love you. And he can't even let you love him, much less admit his love for you, which shows how far away he is from himself. It feels like trial by fire, like just this breaking of the heart, which in a way is opening up his heart and it's activating yours on another level. I'm hearing the higher heart. The heart chakra is being activated on another level for you, but it's like it's painful. It's very painful. Almost like you can't even hardly think about it, or it just becomes too much pain. Like you have to just keep moving. Got the Six of Pentacles. The Hierophant, the Queen of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like right now, even though there's so much potential, we have two aces on the board, and you are literally the light of his being. The sun, there's so much joy and happiness and profound gratitude and love here. And even though you are this Queen of Pentacles, very stable, very loving, very motherly, very I just heard regal. Like anybody would be lucky to have you. You're such a abundant, beautiful, grounding, loving energy who has many, many blessings on the way. Very, 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 very abundant. And even though it would make all the sense for him to go ahead and move towards you right now, and in this sort of energy he's in, everything in him is saying, do it. Move towards that. And with anybody else, he would, because he would use anybody else to get ahead. But it's like that whole divine counterpart part of him will not allow him to. Until there's equal give and take, until he can give you what he's getting from you, like it's equal. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, you give 50, I give 50. Until that's what it is, he will not move towards you. Even with all these feelings, and even though if it were anybody else, he would do it in a heart second. Because he's very used, I'm hearing too, in the past, he doesn't care to use other energies. Like his heart chakra has not been open. So he has very much moved about this world not caring to use other energies or people to get ahead. And there's actually some karma I can feel that he has to deal with when it comes to that. That he still has to settle. He never thought he would meet you. He never thought he would meet somebody that made him feel the way you do. It's like you also held up a mirror to him and showed him what he was being. It's like you come in and you're this beautiful like doe, and I'm saying this because of the way that these cards are depicted. So here's this Queen of Pentacles, this beautiful doe energy. I'm showing the card on the video right now. And like he was thinking like he was this beautiful stag that would be able to be with you. But then you hold up the mirror to him and he's not. Like he's like this goat, like he's like in this devil energy a little bit. And as much as it hurt him to have the mirror held up to him and to see what he's been acting like and who he's been being, it was necessary because that's going to protect him, you, where he will not come in with you until he is a stag, until he is the energy he needs to be. You deserve better, I'm hearing. So until it's equal give and take, he will not come in. We've also got the Hierophant here. I'm actually going to look and see what it says here because I'm just curious. I've never read it in this book before. Something told me to read it. Mentor seeking knowledge. In its simplest form, the Hierophant represents a mentor or teacher. This card signifies a hunger for knowledge, whether it is in the practical or the spiritual realm. You've come as far as you can on your own. Now it's the time to deepen your practice. Don't hesitate. Join a class, go to a workshop. Don't be afraid of new experiences. A new ceremony or ritual may prove to be both comforting and rewarding. Open your heart and your teacher will soon appear. So I'm hearing that you very much was a teacher to him, especially energetically. You showed him a way of looking at the world that he was not used to looking at it, through a lens that he wasn't used to looking at it. You brought a very spiritual energy. You activated his soul. We've got the Chariot. This relationship could be at a distance. This is very much twin flame energy. I'm hearing will, have the will and willpower, or willpower and power, willpower. This relationship is meant to come together in divine timing. The angels are working on this. There's a lot of love in this relationship between these two souls. It's very, very, very deep. It's almost it's very difficult for these two souls to have met or been together for a little while, or were together and then had to separate. It's very difficult for them for this separation. It's very, very difficult. Especially in the soul. Because they really need each other right now. Like so much. It's so deep how much they need each other. So I asked why they can't just come together and help each other. And we got Temperance, which to me says just to be patient. The angels are working on this. It'll come together in divine timing. We got the Death card, which to me says there must be a transformation with the divine masculine energy. And we got the Seven of Swords, which is right now, he's too much in that devilish energy. He would try to take advantage. Whether he would want to or not, he can't help himself. He has to have more of his heart chakra come on. He has to be more in line with his soul. Right now, he'd be too deceptive. It would be too tempting right now. It's like asking a starving person to not take an apple out of the bowl. Like, they're starving. They're going to take an apple out of the bowl. They can't help themselves. So we have to have patience and let time go on so this transformation can take place within him. When this transformation takes place and he's more aligned with his soul and his heart chakra is able to expand, then it will be more aligned. So at the end of the day, the reason it can't come together right now is Spirit is protecting this divine feminine who has done an immense amount of beautiful soul work, not just for herself, but the collective. And Spirit will not allow this divine feminine to be used or accept something that is less than her worth. And by the way, the higher self of the divine masculine, the soul of the divine masculine, also will not allow this to happen. So it's all about protecting the integrity of the divine feminine energy. That's why it can't come together right now. Even with all of this heartbreak and all of this love between these two souls, the integrity of this divine feminine and her getting her justice and worth is of the utmost importance. It's like she has to stay pure, untainted. She has to stay. She holds the codes of divinity. She can't have any lower vibrating energies come in and try to twist or taint her divinity, basically. So I pulled the Five of Wands, and I did feel that I should look in the book, and it says scattered, lack of focus, lost. I think the Divine Feminine may be feeling this some right now. It says the Five of Wands is a card of conflict. You may find yourself scattered, distracted, tending to everything and nothing. Since wands deal with our dreams and goals, it usually means this conflict resides within. Your energy moves outward in many directions, yet you are suffering inside. Take this card as a warning. Find ways to bring calm and focus to your mind, or these troubles will only increase. So yeah, instead of focusing externally on this masculine energy, you really need to bring the focus back internally on yourself. You need to extend that love to your own self and be purposeful about the way that you're moving. But you are suffering. Hmm. So I asked what would help the suffering, and again, it came through with really detaching from this divine masculine energy. I know that's what it's saying. It's saying that to detach from his energy and really love yourself and get back into the flow with your own energy and your own self. Put the focus back on you. On God, on your angels, on your family, your kids if you have them, or on your goals, your places where you would like to see growth within your own life. Yeah. So I do think I'm going to get a few hidden truth oracle, just since we are talking about this masculine now, even though I know that the advice is to really let him go for now. I'm going to get a few messages from him through the hidden truth oracle. Looks like this. So what would he like to say to this divine feminine listening? Interesting. I feel you leaving me behind. So it's so interesting because the advice is to let him go and leave him behind. And maybe that's part of why you're struggling to do that. But it says, I feel you leaving me behind. Perhaps him feeling that more is what creates the very change in him that helps him transform. Because another card that came out is, I'm starting to understand our connection. So the more you do that, the more he may be able to understand truly and feel your all's connection. You know, maybe the more you let this go, it frees up that heart energy within his heart chakra. That may be why it feels so painful. There may be a part of you that is literally letting this energy out of your heart chakra. You're letting it flow out of you to where it literally feels like it's disappearing. And then it may be flowing into him, and then he's meant to come in and chase you and love on you, which will then put it back into your heart. But you can't fear that letting it go out of your heart. You can't fear that that means it's going to disappear forever, or, you know, there's this fear of letting it go, but it's like you have to surrender. You have to surrender and allow this to flow. What else would he like to say? I hide behind material things. So perhaps he keeps things very 3D. He keeps things very surface. He doesn't like to go deep. He doesn't like to go emotional. He hides behind, like, instead of going deep and talking about how he feels about you or his love for you, he's talking about, like, how's work going? How, you know, keeping it very surface. You know, do you like that new furniture that you bought? You know, yeah. I wish I had treated you better. So he regrets doing that. He wishes that he would have shown you more of his emotions, more of the love that he truly felt for you. I just heard, I wished I would have treated you better while I had you. So it's like, for those of you that are in separation, they're very much feeling this, the absence of you. Not having your energy, not having your love, not having your care is very much affecting them. I've got, you are the best thing in my life. That again goes along with your energy being so special, and him going without it and really realizing that in your absence. Really making him think on how he treated you, how he hid his feelings, how he wasn't there for you the way that he wished he would have been, how he wasn't honest enough. And then I've got, we will be together again. So that's very much him really wanting to manifest you guys coming together, and him really starting to understand your all's connection better. And I think, worrying that you're leaving him behind, really trying to get himself to believe that you all will be together again, really holding out hope for that, not letting that go, because that feels like that's kind of all that's keeping him going right now. On the bottom of the deck, we've got, I'm afraid to contact you. So he may go back and forth with contacting you, but he's afraid to because he feels like he let you down. He feels like he would understand why you would ignore him. He wishes that he would have treated you better, and he knows that he's not honest, and it brings up a lot of emotions, a lot of fear. He's so afraid of having to face the fact of, if he messages you, what if you just don't answer? That would, it would crush him. So it's almost like it's easier for him to not message, because it's like, at least then there's the chance that you all will be together again. There's also this part where he's like, well, I shouldn't message because I screwed it up so bad. Like, she deserves so much better than me. It's just like right now, the thing that gives him comfort is you all being together again, but not necessarily putting thought into the how or contacting you or anything like that, because that makes him too nervous. And then on the bottom of the deck again, we've got, I love you. This feels very emotional. Like he never said that, or he never showed that in the way that he should have. Yeah, I just keep hearing it over and over and over, like, I love you, 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 I love you. But it's not like this sad, dark feeling. It's like it makes him happy. The more he says it, it's like he starts to smile. It creates relief. He says it, and as he says it, he's more relieved. I love you. With each I love you, he feels more relieved. Yes, I love you. I love you. I love you. There's so much relief. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I actually do. Like, I actually do. I really do love you. I really, really, really do. I love you. I can't believe I actually do love you. Like, I can't believe it. I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's ever really loved somebody, but he knows that he actually does love you. And in saying it, there's so much relief created. Like, oh my God, like, I can't even believe I'm saying it. I'm shocked. I can't even believe that I actually feel like this, but I know for a fact that I do. I really do love you. It's not just something I'm saying to get something I want. It's not just something I'm saying to appease somebody, or because I feel like it's socially like forced that I have to because we've been together for so long or whatever. Like, no. Whether you're here or whether you're not, whether you're with me or you decide against it, whatever happens here, I love you. And that's not changing. And it's almost like it shocks him more than maybe it would even shock you to hear it. Like, it shocks him that it's true. I just now just like pulled the cards up in the middle of the deck, and we've got, I can't stop thinking about you. So this divine masculine thinks about you very often. You make him very nervous. He's starting to understand this connection more, and he's really hoping that you guys will be together again, and he's worried that you're leaving him behind, and he's regretting the way he treated you, and he's realizing that you were the best thing in his life, and he loves you. Whether he's saying that to himself in his head or not, that's the truth here. That's the truth. So continue to just know and sit in peace and focus on yourself and allow that love to transform him. And I'm hearing from Spirit, as soon as he is ready, just as soon as this is viable, this will begin to come together. But you have to focus on you in the meantime. That will help all of this. That will aid all of this. I hope this helped. I'm going to leave the reading there. If you got anything from this, please hit the like button on the way out. If you would like to hear a reading from me again, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next reading. Ashe Namaste. Bye, guys.